Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to Wednesdays with Larawana. Every Wednesday, right here on CannaWannaBuy.com, we bring you the latest information on medical and recreational use of cannabis from all over the globe. This week from MarijuanaDoctors.com, why everybody should be allowed to grow marijuana at home. With more states opting in for a legal cannabis framework, it is important to encourage lawmakers to include home-growing bills. Marijuana is a plant that should be allowed to be grown by any adult either for recreational or medical relief. Some patients require a staggering amount of cannabis to treat their conditions and illnesses. To make marijuana oil, you need to take a lot of bud, which is purchased in a dispensary, and that could be very expensive. Imagine having to do this over time. The expenses add up. To allow patients to grow their own or designate a caregiver will allow them to save money while treating their conditions. It would be to enable the patient to take their health into their own hands while allowing them to save money in the process. In addition, patients would be allowed to know exactly what is used to grow their own medicine. They would have control over their entire process and also would have access to raw cannabis leaf, which could be used to make cannabis juice, which contains major health benefits without euphoria. Recreational users. When it comes to recreational users, it is also important to permit home growing. For low-income users, home growing would allow them to cultivate their own strains and would not drain their economy. Similar to home brewing, not all users would opt in to grow their own, yet it would be permitted for those who show an interest in home cultivation. The effect on the black market. The black market is still a factor even under legal framework. By allowing people to grow their own, you virtually remove economic incentives for most street dealers, since those who can't afford to purchase in a dispensary would be able to grow their own. The reason why illegal sales are still apparent under legal framework is due to the high taxation, which increases the price of cannabis. Street prices are still cheaper. The experience of growing. Some people say smoking marijuana isn't addictive, but growing it is. The experience of growing your own cannabis is also very therapeutic and also gives you the creative freedom to create your own personalized strains. By making growing an open source activity, that could greatly advance the discovery of new strains with designer effects. And finally, freedom. It comes down to freedom. Home cultivation allows the individual the freedom to take their own recreation and medication into their own hands. It removes the middleman and establishes a principle of freedom. As mentioned, not everybody will grow their own. In fact, the vast majority will not grow their own, which would allow the recreational market to grow unhindered and still instigate the freedom for those who wish to cultivate their own cannabis. Well, that's it for this week. Don't forget that CannaWannaBuy has all kinds of products, whether you are a patient, a recreational user, a dispensary, a head shop, everything for your cannabis needs. Fast shipping, great prices. Don't forget my weekly medical marijuana radio show on medicalmarijuanaradio.com every Saturday night live, 7 p.m. Mountain, 9 on the East, and 6 on the West. Peace and love, everybody. Peace and love.